Now, I'm not specifically bringing Mayor Johnson to the front of the congregation. Yes, I am. Yeah, we are. Come on to the front of the congregation, Brandon. You thought that you was going to say that slick stuff the other day and we wasn't going to be paying attention to it? Oh, we watching. We watching.
It is not safe for the human being to live on the land that are polluted.
The Johnson administration hits another roadblock in its controversial project to build a migrant encampment on the southwest side.
In this latest twist, the governor's office has ordered a stop on construction due to what was discovered beneath the surface. Casey Cronus is in Brighton Park with more on this developing story. Casey.
Neighbors have been sounding the alarm since day one, calling the site unsafe. Now, the results of a long-awaited environmental study are out, and the state's latest move shows they are cause for concern. For the first time in weeks, a massive lot at 38th and California has fallen silent. Construction crews were bringing a winterized tent city to life, but the discoveries outlined in a nearly 800-page report have put a pause on their progress. Consultants found arsenic, lead, and mercury, among other chemical compounds, in the soil.
So, we got to give it that C student perspective summary. In a sense, what we see happening over here in Chicago is that they decided to deploy now, hold on, look. Let's keep it 100. Mayor Brandon Johnson came through the other day and he said, I stand on what I said. I said what I said, and I'm going to continue to have my mohawk up here and then play the black race card and then also blame it on Republicans and conservatives as to where it is that we stand in Chicago today. Okay, cool. Mayor, I disagree with you, but let's move on. That was yesterday's news. Today's news is that they've deployed an egregious, that's my word. They deployed an egregious amount of resources over in Chicago in order to build up this encampment. And so they already are hiring construction crews and clearing gravel and all of that, but they didn't have the insight and the understanding and the wherewithal to actually make sure that it is completely safe, even though everybody knew that the site was contaminated. So this flies in the face of his justification as to why it is that he's doing what he's doing as far as the reasonable accommodations and doing it because it was the right thing to do. Okay, so now you're going to bring the migrants over here and then you also going to throw them in the construction area with the arsenic.
Hope that the result will kill this project because we think it's unfair to put migrants on a site that has an industrial history.
Listen, even me, as much as I am against the migrant crisis, I am for human rights. You can't just throw nobody on top of the arsenic. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Monday morning, the city reported that soil with mercury was removed, and the site is still safe for temporary residential use. But Governor Pritzker said not so fast, ordering a review by the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency.
If they say they finished the remedy, they should retest.
Wait. Hold on, wait. How come everybody that's protesting and reading all of their comments are Asian? How come everybody that's reading all of these comments Asian? That's all I'm just asking a question because every single person that I've seen in the background, in the foreground, and the community members, Sandra May, are Asian. Every last one of them are.
The soil again to confirm the land is safe.
Other compounds discovered in the 9.5-acre site include PCB chemicals, which were banned in the late 70s because they can harm human and environmental health. At an unrelated event Monday morning, Mayor Johnson ignored questions about the results.
To me, it's a negative.
Shout out to Mayor Johnson. He don't give a piss about y'all. He answer and ask what he want to answer and ask, and he don't care nothing about what y'all talking about. He say what he said, and then if y'all ask any questions about either his mohawk or site contamination or where the money is going or what role the church is playing and what it is that you got going on with your administration, he just say he's going to blame it on the fact that he black, and he also going to blame it on conservatives. He don't answer no questions. He said what he said. I think that he going to wind up being a pretty significant power player in the future to come. Shout out to Mayor Johnson. Let's continue.
Mayor Johnson ignored questions about the results.
To me, it's negligent and no regard for life.
Because of the state's decision, a judge found it unnecessary to grant residents who have sued with a temporary restraining order. But during a court hearing, that judge encouraged the city to be more transparent with community members.
Now, you know that ain't going to happen. They're going to do what they want to do, and they're going to say you're going to love it and you're going to like it. But meanwhile, after we leave over from Chicago, I bet y'all haven't been taken care of and paying attention to. Shout out to Mr. Lot of what's going on over there in Houston. Let me bring y'all up to speed. What is up with this connection? Why is this mug so
Mayor Turner, the proposals will best be addressed the complaints the city leaders have received. The city council is set to vote on the changes Wednesday morning, and even as city leaders make changes for customers, there are new claims of fraud and financial waste at the water department.
And as the Office of Inspector General investigates the questionable connections that we uncovered last month, we are exposing even more. Contractors who say they saw the waste firsthand are calling investigative reporter Amy Davis to explain how taxpayers are getting drained.
As water gushed, flowed, and sprayed from broken city water lines,
this is an emergency situation.
Emergency money also flowed.
$87 million on EPOs related to leaks.
Tens of millions of city tax dollars directed to a dozen companies to fix those lines, many with no history of water line repair work.
Now, a lot of people have been living under a rock, but I want to help y'all to understand something. They say, Anton, why do you always address issues that's not necessarily related directly to finances? Well, I got news for you, buddy. Every single thing that's happening inside of the United States of America and outside of our country borders comes back down to the money. There are people getting millions and millions and millions and tens of millions and almost $100 million that created companies to finesse you guys out of your tax money in order to fix problems that they didn't even know how to fix. I've been following this story for the past week. Yeah, Anton is becoming an investigative journalist when it comes to these politicians and how they're spending your tax dollars. Maybe not, but I've been following the story, keeping in mind of what's happening over there in Houston. And Houston thought that they was going to escape the front of the congregation because I was paying attention to what was going on in Chicago. But the reality is this. The mayor and the black mayor, let me go ahead and show y'all. Hold on. Is under fire over in Houston, and his name, I believe, is Sylvester Turner. Sylvester Turner is the mayor over in Houston. It is another man with no mustache. Another man with no mustache is starting to be under fire as a result of what is going on with misappropriated money. Your tax dollars being allocated to different people, and they saying friends and family, and people are starting to, and I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I have no clue. All I know is that people continue to send me information and saying, Anton, you have to pay attention to what's happening over here. And so I may not announce it right away, but I'm definitely got my eye on it. So we got another black man with no mustache, they say, not actually doing what's in the best interest of the people. Let me continue.
Some with no work history at all.
We received a number of calls. We're vetting them as well.
But if anyone had vetted Lou's Construction, they would have noticed its connection to Houston Public Works manager Patrice Lee, the same employee choosing the companies to get the
Not a bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. Not another one of my ladies. Ladies, my Mercedes. Hold 4 in the back, 2 if you're fat. Ladies, mom, not another city girl that is choosing the contracts of where the money is being allocated to in order to make sure that her friends and family get paid. Now, you know Anton is going to be on top of things and paying attention to what's happening out here in these streets. Yeah, Lou's Construction with an L and a U and no E on it. Lou's Construction didn't even exist before the water main break. Next thing you know, an LLC that said Lou's Construction with a generic logo of a bobcat. Y'all keep trying to figure out how all of these people getting all of this money. It's because they are. See, y'all want the shortcut because your friend showed up and they said, shout out to Mike Jones. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly and missed a lot. Y'all friends showed up and they had some gold chains and all of this other type of stuff. And they was like, yo, all you got to do is just stay focused and make sure you got your credit up. No, they starting companies because they know Auntie over here got the keys to the city as far as determining what contractors is going to be able to get the job that they don't even know how to do. They ain't even got no license. They ain't even a general contractor. Auntie over there is giving them the game and finessing it. Listen, we ain't gonna just be quiet. No, Auntie, Anton is here. Anton is here paying attention to what's happening out here in these streets, baby.
multi-million-dollar repair contracts. We showed you last month that Lee's brother is listed on state records as the owner of Lou's Construction, but he didn't.
Oh, her brother is in his home. He is the owner of the company. Black people said they gonna steal their way to the top. They say we want our reparations right now, and it's gonna come on the behalf. It's gonna come on the behalf of the city taxpayers. Y'all gonna get them. Y'all gonna get them their money. Look at him. He got him some Versace glasses just like Anton. He's smiling. Just got done smoking weed. Blips is black. You know the type. Gonna be flying out these city girls, probably front row at the Drake concert. Come on, man. Come on, Lou.
Of Lou's Construction, but he didn't want to talk with us about the $4.5 million contract he received.
See your card?
Once that story aired, city employees and contractors started calling. This contractor asked that we conceal his identity. He worries about his safety.
Now you know that's a white man snitching. Let me look at the profile pic. Yep, I can see his hair sticking out the back.
Calling. This contract.
Yep, that's him. That's a white man. That's a white man right there. One thing we can say about our brothers and sisters with less melanin in their skin is that they definitely are whistleblowers. I appreciate you. They definitely are whistleblowers. When they don't get their cut, somebody going to jail. That's a fact, though. When they don't get their cut, somebody is going to jail. And I don't know if you got my money and I don't know if you got my money, but if I don't get my cut, I'm definitely going to be sitting in the dark on the news and having a conversation about how Lou out here ain't paying me what it is that I know. See, black people, they just, you know what I'm saying? I ain't snitching, but I'm just saying, man, he ain't call me. He ain't got my money. I'm going to see him in the streets. No. Now, white people be like, hey, buddy, I know someone that didn't pay their taxes yesterday, and I'm tired of them parking on my lawn. It's a whole nother, they play a different game. Look at them sitting in the dark.
Contractor asked that we conceal his identity. He worries about his safety because he says what he has will upset his former bosses. And if you live in the city of Houston, it'll probably upset you too.
When I came on, there was probably 400 active water leaks. It got up to 1,000.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. That's him. That's Connor. That's Connor. Connor Gronkowski. I guarantee you his name is like Connor Gronkowski. Connor is out here telling, and he ain't trying to go to jail. And so he going to get ahead of it before you get behind him. And now that he's seen the news story coming out, he going to be on top of it, and he going to ask for immunity. He going to make sure that he participating with the law. Shout out to Connor Gronkowski that's out here doing what he's supposed to do. Billy, Richard, all those guys. You know what I'm saying? They got the name. They got their hat. You know what I'm saying? They got their favorite city, their favorite team. They make sure that they drink beer on Sundays with the buddies. That's Connor.
Right, that we were repairing them was not what it should have been.
Why?
City mismanagement and planning.
This is how he explains it, and what we confirmed using invoices we
Shout out to
obtained from
Connor.
the city. At least half of the 12 businesses that received portions of that $87 million.
Look at the amounts. 3 million, 3.5 million, 3.6 million, 3.9 million. Look at these names. Harlem Construction. C&J Arsenal Construction. CST Connections, LLC.
To make repairs, didn't have their own employees.
They were staffed by Patrice.
From this city water office, Patrice Lee hired not only her own family and friends, but also the cousins, brothers, and friends of other city employees. Cesar Cordova is a Houston public...
Not another Caesar. You can't trust a Caesar as far as you can throw him. You can't trust a Caesar as far as you can throw him. Man, listen, anybody that's pregnant, and if you was thinking about naming your kid Caesar, get another name, fam. Get another name. You're not doing them good. You're doing them injustice. Don't name your kid after a car, and don't name your kid after a former ruler. No Hercules. No Caesars. No Gladiators, no Mercedes, no Lexuses, no Toyotas, none of that. Don't name your kid G-Wagon, nothing.
Works senior inspector. In January, he posted on Facebook, anyone in the water and wastewater industry looking for a career jump, hit me up. I have an opportunity for you. Brandon Lee, Patrice's husband, also a Houston Public Works maintenance manager, replied, me, LOL. Just a few months later, Cordova's cousin, Joe Garcia, started C&J Arsenal and got a City of Houston contract for more than $3 million.
Jesus, these people is out here finessing Houston out of $87 million, and we out here, y'all up here talking about and complaining because somebody, I ain't got nothing to say to the UAW no more. I ain't got nothing to say to the UAW is out there fighting for a raise, and they up here thinking that it's the CEOs that they got to find the enemies of. They stealing y'all tax dollars right from under y'all feet, and ain't nobody said nothing about it. C&J Arsenal started a company just yesterday and they got $3 million, and y'all up here worried about whether or not I bought a new watch. Good God. People talking on social media, they on Facebook with one like.
And while he billed for that contract, he also collected a paycheck for working as an inspector for another company.
That sounds like fraud.
Why?
When you're being paid to monitor the job that you're being paid to do, you're supposed to be a third party, not a part of the party.
The contractors hired weren't just doing repairs. Hundreds of people were hired to inspect the work of the people doing the repairs. And these jobs started at $25 an hour.
We really sat in our trucks, watched YouTube, and if we were standing outside, we were standing outside staring at four guys digging a hole.
This dude said we was sitting in our trucks watching the Millionaire Morning Show. We was sitting in our trucks watching the Millionaire Morning Show. That's what Connor just said. We was sitting in our trucks watching the Millionaire Morning Show on YouTube, getting paid to watch the job that we was getting paid to do. Boy, if that ain't a finesse. They said all money in, just like Nipsey Hussle. All money in, no money out. Tell on them, Connor.
Outside, staring at 4 guys digging a hole, which turned into multiple 14-hour days, 15-hour days on one job doing nothing.
Does that sound like maybe they didn't need as many inspectors as they had?
And this is what was told to us. They were trying to make sure everyone got their hours still, and so they were pairing people up who were in training for longer to a month.
He says taxpayers essentially paid double for work. $25 an hour for one guy to inspect the repairs and another $25 for the guy who was shadowing him for weeks, sometimes months.
Billable hours.
Who dropped the ball?
The city of Houston.
Shout out to the city of Houston and the Public Works Department and all of our incompetent leaders that have no accountability, got Auntie stealing the money, giving it all to her friends, won't answer the dough, got all of the millions, and it wasn't just paying double, they paid more than double because that time and a half, that double time, that triple time, yeah, man. Yeah, man. So this is what's happening over in Houston, Chicago, and this is how they finesse us, and this is why our taxes are so high, and they keep trying to raise taxes and all of this other type of stuff. And partially is because we getting finessed by Auntie and them. And every time you get a fully black city, for some reason, they start to have a bunch of corruption in there. And then y'all want to point the finger and say that the people are getting on y'all because y'all don't look like them.